Saturdays at 11, Patty Wilson, Patty's Playhouse. House talk with a happy ending.
Each and every time.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks, but real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
From the music bed. So we have fought to get back, and we are back, I do believe. So you can go back and watch again on Warchant TV, and thanks for listening on 93.3 Real Talk Radio. That's just a power surge, kids. That's just things went nuts. We actually kind of anticipated that with the earlier buzzing as we were doing the show.
Yeah, there was some warning shots that were fired. There's no doubt about that with the lights flickering. At least we documented that as it happened, so folks didn't think that we just darted like Chappelle knocking over the pitcher of water as he's running out of the room. There's no early happy hour on a Thursday, folks.
No, listen, I want to be on as much as possible this week. So much fun to be had talking about Florida State Clemson. I was downright frustrated when this happened. So thankfully we're back now. We appreciate you listening. Another reminder, and one thing that we do know, Tom, as powered by our friends at Xfinity, we're going to have an opportunity this weekend, you and I, to do the little pregame kind of get together starting at 2:30, or I think it's 2:30 till 3:30.
2:30, that is accurate.
2:30 to 3:30 on Warchant TV. A little pregame get-together, a little tailgating, if you will, before the game. And I look forward to it. And, again, we'll have no such problems at our house, Tom, because that is powered by our friends at Xfinity. If you would like the fastest internet available, you get started, you call 1-800-XFINITY, visit Xfinity.com, or drop into an Xfinity store today for more details. And there you go.
Yeah, one of the things I'm going to try this week is I'm going to get an extended, I could use the Xfinity Wi-Fi. I could. You could. And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get an extended Ethernet cord to run from my office where you did the post-game show, where I will do the post-game show. Mm-hmm. And it's really not that much slack necessary to get across the room and then run down the stairs. You know how my house is laid out. Because I'd like to be in front of the big screen TVs while we do the pregame show. If I'm upstairs, you know what I can do? I can hop on my Xfinity Stream app and watch anything like I'm watching it live on my television box.
Sell it, baby. Sell it.
It's a beautiful thing. But I'd like to watch it without the delay. So if you see a cool play in Michigan State as we're getting ready for the game, I see the same play in the same amount of time. That's what I'm going for. But I'm covered wall to wall with Xfinity.
You'll be able to see the broken-hearted kids at Texas Tech longing for Matt Wells.
You're telling me that's going to be in your rotation. Okay, so I know that game's on your card. I suppose we could put up the full card, but I know that's on your real card then.
Well, speaking of the card, let's get to the card. It is Redemption Thursday. I do it each hour and remind everybody what we have, what we don't have, and it's brought to you by our good friends at Metro Deli. There's my bald head with the glasses and the money coming out of the ATM. It's brought to you by Metro Deli. I love the I don't see why not. That guy would be my friend. You walk in, hey, what if we tried this? I don't see why not. Ohio State minus 18.5 against Penn State. I feel like we are watching two programs go very different directions. Ohio State has played brilliantly the last 5 weeks, really ever since they kind of made some defensive changes. They made changes in their coaching staff. Coach Day is not having it. I like that guy. He's a really good coach. He saw the nightmare against Oregon and was absolutely appalled, and then decided, we're going to shuffle up the coaching staff here. You are going to get demoted because you're sorry. You're sorry.
You're sorry, but ain't cutting it.
Yeah. So we're going to do some things here and change it up. And since changing it up, they've been a lot better. And of course, the offense has just been humming. You look at, CJ Stroud is good. Their numbers. Ohio State, I will say definitively, and I think inarguably, has the best wide receiving core in the country. It's unreal. And I'm jealous because we may have the worst in the conference. And it's just maddening to look out there and see that they have NFL players for days at wide receiver.
That's the one thing about watching Clemson, and as dysfunctional as that offense is, my God, they've got at least 4 really, really good wide receivers.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Their 4th best would be our best, and it wouldn't be close.
Wouldn't be close. Well, that's true of their worst linebacker. And it's just like, damn it, man. That's very, very frustrating. Southern Miss and Middle Tennessee State. Yes, that's right. It's made its way onto the card, but for the under 48 reason. We got weather. We got weather. That's creeping up to be my favorite one. That look. The look on his face is so good.
That's why Eugene Levy got a lot of work in the second half of his career, because he's so expressive.
Oh, he's funny. He's great. He handles it and does it well. He also has the greatest set of hair for a man his age I've ever seen.
And he's got the eyebrows of Sam the Eagle the Muppet.
It's nuts. We're going under 48. Southern Miss, Middle Tennessee State. Maryland -5 versus Indiana. Let me tell you something about the way money goes. It doesn't matter if you win your money in the Florida-Georgia game or you win your money in the Maryland-Indiana game. You got to find a way to win that money, and we're going to do it with Maryland this week, -5 against the Hoosiers, baby. Woo! That's right. Indiana, 4th-string quarterback, going to make a start. Ooh, tough times.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
For that alone, I will take Maryland, and we are going to do that. Oklahoma -19. I just mentioned it. Matt Wells fired on Monday. I'm waiting for more on that story. Like what? I mean, why would you fire a guy now? I mean, the upheaval.
The upheaval?
Yeah, the upheaval has got to be significant. Now,
there's got to be more to it. There's a more to it situation.
Was my man groping people? What's going on there? I don't know that.
That's going around these days.
I mean, I don't know if we had a little gropey grope situation, but my man is just up and fired on a Monday. Texas Tech has played hard and played with people. They've been right there. They can score. They kind of make you nervous. They're a weird team. I would have thought if everything had gone the way that it was normally going, that I wouldn't have given 19 points here with Oklahoma with the way they played against Kansas and the way Texas Tech can score. I would have been, I'm going to leave it alone. Now I'm going to take Oklahoma and lay the 19, and I'm betting on a crestfallen group there with Texas Tech.
Yeah, well, players aren't always the best judge of who should be the head coach of a football team. We know that. There are countless examples. But look correct. Lee Sterling talked about it a couple of weeks ago, that LSU came out, played inspired football because they likely knew that Edo was going to get fired.
That was it. That's all.
Players always love that dude. Even when he was on the way out of USC, they loved him.
Yeah, but I will tell you, they only did it for that week. They turned right around and took their ass kicking to Ole Miss the next week,
all right,
which I also predicted.
Well, he said they're too injured to practice, and I wonder if he's just like, take the day.
I do think they are. I mean, they are beat up. They've lost a lot of people. That's going around everywhere. It's gone around at Clemson. Clemson's folks, so we do on warchant.com. I know you and I talked about this on the Warchant report, which you can see on warchant.com. Imagine that. But what I would tell you is this. They did a list like we did a list. And I went and looked at it. They did a list of top 25 players on Clemson's roster. Now that roster, it's a loaded roster in a lot of ways, but a lot of NFL talent there. I think they've lost 9 of their 25 of their 25 best players for the year. They're just done. So they're lamenting that too. They've had a lot of injuries as well.
It's a damn shame.
I know you're heartbroken over it. I'm going to take Purdue getting 7.5. The hook begged me to take Purdue there against Nebraska. Nebraska doesn't blow anybody out, really, and they play a lot of close games. And Martinez went back to being his sorry-ass self again here recently on the road against Minnesota. Just awful. And so I just decided I'm off of you. Scott, you got to move on from your boy. He can't play. not for a long period of time. I should call Scott Frost. I feel like I'm connected to that program some way. I've monitored them for a while.
Well, we've covered them pretty head to toe this season. We've done a better job than most of their local beats.
I'm tired of it, man. How can you continue to send that kid out there to cost you games? It just drives me batty.
That's not what you do.
It is not what you do, Tom. It's not. If I were in Lincoln, I'd be livid. Why do we keep rolling this guy out?
You'd walk up, Scott, I've got something to say to you.
Listen, are you trying to get fired? What are you doing?
That's not what you do.
No. Give me Purdue plus 7.5. Give me Notre Dame minus 3.5 against North Carolina. I think Carolina may be in checkout mode. All their hopes and dreams have been dashed. Florida State University laid it on them right there in Chapel Hill. Get about it. So those frauds and that brown goat jumping is just the happiest damn goat ever. Almost kicks the other goat in the face there on the side. Look how close. I think he might catch him.
Yeah, he might catch his chin.
I think he catches his chin a little bit. Like, hey, get you some of this, Daryl. Yeah, that's good.
The goat's name is Daryl.
Yeah, that goat's name's Daryl for sure.
How about the brown goat?
I don't know what his name is. It's got to be some sort of effervescence. Like he's a happy goat. I don't know who he'd be.
Antonio?
Antonio's good. Antonio's out there leaping around, kicking Daryl in the face.
Damn it, Antonio!
No, I've told you. Get your feet together. Notre Dame minus 3 at your hooves.
Yes. Tom, we are live.
Yeah.
I know this has been a confusing 25 minutes, but this is live. We
This
back.
is definitely live.
Somebody
man.
paid the bill.
We're good. Notre Dame minus 3.5 against North Carolina. Stanford minus 2 against Washington. Coach Lake is going to get fired at some point in the not too distant future in Washington. It didn't work out. You know, I never thought I'd say it, but boy, they're going to miss the Scientologists terribly. It looks like he's out there running around praising whatever that alien being is that they love, but it's awful because they've gone off a cliff at Washington. Is it Nanu? Xenu?
You know, that's exactly what I was doing. Nanu, I believe, is a term that Robin Williams used in Mork and Mindy.
Yes, yeah.
So I believe it's Xenu.
Yeah, about as real.
Like
yeah.
if that was a question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I'm like, all right, so Nanu that's a
was
TV
Mork
show
and
thing.
Mindy.
Yeah.
Was it Xenu? Is the Scientology alien?
Xanadu?
Yeah, it's Xanadu. We're gonna go with Whippity Doo.
Spinny Whippity Doo.
Doing the old Whippity Doo there, like our old intern. He's still out there covering the old Whippity Doo.
Option D would be John Travolta.
Yeah. Give me Stanford minus 2 versus Washington. Give me UNLV. Hey, for those that missed it in the first hour, Tom, what are they playing for in that battle in Nevada with UNLV and Nevada getting it on this weekend?
Fremont Cannon.
That's right. They're playing for the Fremont Cannon kids. UNLV only lost by a touchdown to UTSA on the road. That's it. 1 touchdown. Come on now. Give me those 20 points. I'll take those 20 points all day long. The Running Rebels going to fight hard for this. It's the Fremont Cannon.
But will they win the Fremont Cannon?
No, they won't win the Fremont Cannon. But they see it. It's there on the sideline. That cannon could be ours. And they'll give everything they got.
This seems loosey-goosey enough for me just to bring back for a moment that John Travolta did a celebrity cameo at the Lightning Stanley Cup final game against Montreal.
Yeah.
And he
you know how proud I am of him deciding to give up the ghost?
Yep.
You're bald, but you look good, bald.
Right.
Let it go.
Well, was it Swordfish that he shaved the head?
Yeah.
And it looked
you're
good?
like, it looks good.
Right.
Ooh, Swordfish is the one with Holly Berry.
That's correct.
that
We
scene?
leave it there.
My
Yeah.
God. She's a good-looking woman.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So the guy goes, here to cheer us on is John Travolta. And people are like, okay, because the camera doesn't see him. And then they pan over, it shows him, and he goes, what's up, Tampa Bay? How do we feel about our boats? And everybody just loses their mind. It was awesome.
Yeah. I told you I ran into him at a gas station in Ocala. I did.
You did?
Yeah, he owns horses in Ocala. And
He and Steinbrenner.
Yeah, I ran into him. I was getting gas in Ocala, and I was like, oh, look at that. There he is. I couldn't believe it. He wasn't wearing his wig then either.
He wasn't?
No, wasn't wearing his wig.
Out of him, let it.
And in the NFL, I took over 48 between the Eagles and the Lions. Good weather conditions in that dome, Tom. Good weather conditions. We're gonna go over 48 there.
Saying a lot of broken plays, huh?
A lot of broken plays. So there, that's that. So that, and he's also got a big plane there and all that. So going back to John Travolta.
Oh yeah.
At the time I didn't know. I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world. Why would I be?
You know,
When you're at a gas station in Ocala, your objective is to get the hell out of that gas station in Ocala.
it's the weirdest thing. We don't bring it up enough about how Tampa is so intersectional, Tampa Bay area, because Clearwater is the Scientologist territory.
Oh, yes. They walk around
You
the
drive
streets
down
right there. All yeah.
Time was when I was growing up, it was just maybe a building or two, and you saw that the people in the light blue button-down shirts, like, oh, all right, Scientologists. Then they took over the entirety of downtown Clearwater.
Ruined it.
Not that it was ever burgeoning, but it was nice enough.
Nice enough.
And you see all of the flag logos.
Yeah,
That's the name of the company, Flag, on the buses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you're intersecting professional wrestling, Scientology, and then like Dwight Gooden, Daryl Strawberry, Wade Boggs, and some others.
Yeah.
What an interesting
It's an
place.
interesting place. It's also a place where you can be stuck behind a car for 45 minutes straight as you try to enter the beach. It is maddening.
Yeah.
That little roundabout can go to hell. It's the worst thing of all time. I have obviously been stuck trying to do that many times. A little crab shack over there on the other side. I'm like, damn it, man. What are we doing here? How have we not figured out a way to expand this area and not make this a roundabout?
That's why you go to Sand Key, or you just take it on down to St. Pete.
I'm never going back to Clearwater. I'm just done with it.
Hell, even Dunedin, Honeymoon Island's nice. That area is very pleasant. You don't need to be at that roundabout ever.
We played the Dunedin Bombers, I think it was, in soccer in my under 14 SYSL year. And it was a 1-0 game with a goal scored by yours truly.
Oh, that's cool. They changed it to Dunedin Sterling by the time I was a kid. I was a member of Dunedin Sterling, the rec league. I was never good enough to travel.
Yeah, we played, and I scored a goal from the left wing. It was a beauty. Touch class, Tom. Touch class. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The city manager of Quincy announced the new chief of police for the city's police department on Wednesday. The new police chief is Timothy L. Ashley, who has served more than 30 years in law enforcement beginning in 1981 as a Florida State Trooper. Before being selected as a QPD police chief, Ashley served as a captain with the Gadsden County Sheriff's Office since 2013. Bainbridge public safety officers responded to a call last Friday. The officers were told by witnesses the woman had been hit by a blue Chevy Camaro, which then attempted to run over several other people before leaving the scene. Officers located the hit-and-run victim lying on the grass. Decatur Grady EMS arrived at the scene and transported the victim to Memorial Hospital. The day after the incident, a call was made to Bainbridge Public Safety by a woman who identified herself as Vicki Johnson and was brought in for questioning. During the interview process, it was established that Johnson was the person behind the wheel and was responsible for the injuries of the person who was hit. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance for scattered rain showers this afternoon. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs approaching 78. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered rain showers again tonight. Lows dip down to about 58, partly cloudy. Chance for scattered rain showers tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 68. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 80.
What do you need tires on? Your car or truck, tractor, or heavy equipment? At Nice Tire and Auto Service, we have tires for all of these needs. And we service your vehicle from air conditioning and computerized alignment to oil changes and everything else under the hood. Call Nice Tire and Auto today at 574-4100. That's 574-4100 for your scheduled maintenance. National accounts welcome at Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
It's Congressman Michael Waltz on the Greg Tish Show.
Good morning, Congressman. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well.
Again, just what you have to go through day in and day out. I don't know how you have hair left, or like Matty Rowe, just completely bald.
Hey!
Sorry.
And the irony of it all, the progressives are the tail wagging the dog. This whole bipartisan White House is a joke. We're just watching them, eat their own.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
one's for you, announcing the Bud Light Sideline Experience Contest. If you're a Nole in Tallahassee, text Bud Light Fan to 31996. That's Bud Light Fan, all one word, to 31996. If you're the lucky winner, you score 2 sideline passes, hospitality passes, and fan gear for the FSU Miami game on November the 13th. You've got to be 21 years of age or older in order to enter. A message from local Anheuser-Busch distributor Tri-Eagle Sales. Where was it we saw our boy? Oh, that was the golf tournament. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The golf tournament we were playing last Monday.
Mm-hmm. That was fun.
Yeah, Tri-Eagle did it right, man. They had the Bev carts, and I believe some things were gratis on the Bev carts.
Next year.
That's a nice tournament.
That's a great tournament. Next year, we will not be working on the day of that tournament. We, in fact, were working on that tournament on that day, and so we decided not to partake in the goodness that was being offered.
Yes, but one thing we also will do next year is we are endeavoring to return the Invitational back to Tallahassee.
Man.
What Invitational, you ask?
That would be the Jeff Cameron Show Invitational, and we are going to do it. We got a lot on the docket, and we've also got to get to where we start to remind everybody about what we're doing with the bowling tournament this year, too, in December. So we got a lot of good stuff where we can benefit charities and we can have fun together, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. So we'll get you more details. We are endeavoring, as we speak, to do a Jeff Cameron Show Invitational, the return. We had done 13 of them before we shut it down. That's how long that was going on, and then we had to walk.
I was given a koozie from our mutual friend Nikki from like the 4th annual or 5th annual, and it is worn to hell, but it is still holding strong, and it does its job.
Yeah,
I'm very proud to receive that as a gift.
It's a good gift, man. I don't even have one of those. That's awesome stuff. I see people every now and again wearing an old Jeff Cameron Show shirt from like 15 years ago. Man, that thing still has fibers. That's unbelievable.
Remember the one with the tournament train and caboose?
Yeah, it's great.
Who drew that?
I don't remember. It's Matt Millar on the back of the caboose. He's got his pot belly and a beer in his hand. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That was a good shirt.
It's a great shirt. Yeah, we had some good ones over the years. I can't believe how many people. So represented in some of those Jeff Cameron Show's neighborhood shirts, there are people in there that are dead. They've been dead for years. That's how long we've been on the air. I went back and saw one of those shirts recently, and I'm pointing out the characters that were, parts of the show. And
you had a neighborhood like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Neighborhood. Yeah, and then somebody did that. We did that for a shirt, and there were like characters. Phil Mickelson's on that shirt when he had boobs. There's a lot of it's all that stuff. But there were also local people who we used to call on the show, and I gave everybody a nickname, or they gave themselves a nickname, like Just Plain Jim and people like that. He's dead. He's been dead for a long time. There are a lot of people on there where I'm like, that guy's dead. He's dead. That doesn't exist anymore. They closed that. He's dead. It's crazy. Happens quickly.
Well, that's what happens when you're on for over a generation.
So some of you have asked about it this week, and we don't have an answer for this. I can't solve for these problems. This is up to a very handsomely paid coaching staff to solve for. But a lot of folks have wondered, both on the boards and really in email and, of course, on the chat here, that, hey, what are we going to do if Brent Venables' defense, which is elite, stops our ability to run the football? Yeah, we're going to lose. That's what we're going to do. I mean, if you want to answer that question honestly, if they do shut that down completely, yeah, we're going to lose.
They'd be the first to do it with Jordan Travis quarterbacking the Noles, though.
Mm-hmm. They'd also be the best defense we face, so it's a great unknown. Can Florida State run this offense, limited as it is, against everybody? We don't know. It's a great mystery. We know they can run it against Syracuse. We know they can run it against UMass. We know they can run it against North Carolina. Can you run it against Clemson?
And Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's a good feather in the cap.
That game was weird. It wasn't quite what we're running now, but yes. I mean, they backed off after getting an 18-point lead, and we realized they were going to let us run the ball, and we did.
They did, but we did score an 80-yard touchdown or whatever it was from Corbin before they had backed off, and that also opened up things for us to be out to, I think it was a 10-point lead in the first half.
Yeah.
You're scoring in the teens. If we score in the teens against Clemson in the first half,
oh, well, buddy,
we're in business.
Yeah, I would say this, though. Jordan Travis didn't run at all in that game. So this is a different version, and he is more willing and able to run now. So it gives you hope. I'm saying that in a good way.
Much more willing.
Yeah, much more willing. So that's the deal. And I think too that they'll have the patience to stick with it. I think they have to. It's an amazing thing to have your choices limited. Sometimes it's a necessary thing. My son is finding that out right now as I take away his phone for the next month. It's just to have your choices taken from you. Then okay, this is what you got to do.
So he brings it to the air. It was a month?
Oh, I haven't decided. It'll be whenever I feel like it. But right now I'm leaning towards a month. We'll see. I am a soft.
He'll go through his birthday without it? Or are you going to give him
I might give him a day.
Might give him 3 hours and you observe the usage of the phone?
I've already deleted some of the things that I needed to delete. We're done having it. Wasn't that folks out there, I don't want to paint my son in this bad light. He's a wonderful kid. And he just, he's like a normal 13-year-old. He's making mistakes, and there are consequences for those mistakes.
Well, for you old timers out there, imagine that if you had a phone that was connected to the world when you were
Correct.
a teenager.
Yeah,
I didn't even have that.
No, I didn't have that. I'm glad I didn't have that.
Me too.
I also think that we're going to go on a diatribe here. It's to never have true freedom is a really difficult thing. And because everybody's tethered to their cell phone.
You're damn right. You're damn right. I'm glad you said it.
I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about the ability to untether yourself from being, connected to every contact, and or to be tracked down by everybody that has your number. It's crazy. Yep. There is no, I always thought that one of the great things about being able to drive and turning 16 is that those moments where your frustration, it could be over a girl, it could be that your mom is annoying you, it could be that your brother or your sister, whatever it was, that you could go out to your car, hop in it, and go. And nobody would need to know where you were, what you were doing, or how to reach you. It was glorious. And kids today don't get that. They don't get that. Now, there's good and bad that comes with that.
We had it at the very end of my high school career, but my parents were not technologically hip enough to have gotten me anything more than, a phone plan with 20 minutes or 30 minutes on it until college. So even though my counterparts in high school who had everything, including Bentleys and Mercedes and Escalades and
Tough
such,
life there.
They had unlimited texting before it was even a thing, right? It was probably like $300 a month. Who even knows?
Mm-hmm.
I still had a quasi-existence like you did. And the thing that I loved most, and you had mixtapes, but I burned a few CDs, and I had my CD case, and you pop those in, and I've got an AC/DC mix as I'm driving down US 19.
Yeah.
Dude, there was hardly anything better.
I think for me, it was driving down to St. Pete Beach and then going to the record stores. I would just go to these record stores all over St. Pete and Tampa. And I could still spend, if there were lots of them around, hours on end, detached from the world, just mesmerized by music. It was great. I loved it. So that's the way that worked. Anyhow, so what the hell was that? Why did I bring that up? I brought that up for a reason.
You had mentioned that there are choices that you make and there are freedoms and then your son and then yada yada.
So what I would tell you is really quickly that for Florida State, having your choices removed has allowed them to find an identity, has allowed them to play to something with very specific roles. And everybody understands their responsibilities, and they do it very well. The fear we have going into the game, though, is that even though they've leaned heavily into this at like a 70-30 split, 80-20 split run pass, you may be facing a defense now who's equipped to do something about it. And they have an explosive group in that front seven. They cover well on the back end. I struggle to see where we're going to find consistency in doing what we've been able to do these last 3 games. But on the other hand, rightfully, we have praised Atkins, Dillingham, Norvell for creating and being imaginative, oftentimes creating angles where there are physical disadvantages. They've found ways to put kids in a position to succeed. That is what coaching is. It's important that you see it because it means that when we get really good players and we add to this offense, good things are going to happen. In the interim, they can't do that right now. So can they one more time kind of beat their head against the wall, as one person noted, and stick with it and remain patient? Well, the only way they can do that is if the defense is holding up their end of the bargain and they're continuing Clemson's woes and getting after these guys. I think if you hit DJ early in this game, and he becomes an unwilling participant, which oftentimes it looks like he is, you got a chance to add to the number of games in which they don't reach 21 points in regulation. And if that happens, you can remain loyal, patient, dedicated to, however you'd like to describe it, the run game that Florida State has effectively run these last 4 weeks.
Well, it's interesting if you look at Clemson's numbers and the teams that they've faced, right, and how they run the football, and Kobe Pace is going to be out for this game because he's in COVID protocol, so they're turning to Will Shipley and Phil Maffa as well. Outside of Georgia, which is the caveat for anybody who plays Georgia, this will be the best run defense that Clemson has seen this year, which means that if you stop them in neutral situations without DJ's legs, right, so they're going to turn it to Shipley. He's a one-cut runner. Kobe Pace is a little bit different. He can make you miss in a phone booth a little bit better than Shipley can. But if you can stop those runs early on and you force DJ into obvious situations, you talk about a here we go again mentality for everybody in the building, not just those in the huddle, but everybody in the building.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating that feel for the game where now it's, can you just get me to the point total on offense rather than can you hang with them? Can we go score for score with them? So if our run defense performs as the numbers suggest, and that would be the second best that Clemson has seen since Georgia, the best they've seen since Georgia, actually, then you're putting them in a position where they're in third and obvious with DJ. And who do you feel better with? I think that's actually a legitimate debate. If you ask Clemson fans or Florida State fans, who do you feel better with?
I feel better with DJ on third and obvious. Throwing the ball.
With that offensive line?
Throwing the ball, sure. Yeah, I do. Remember, it's us against their defensive line. And I don't know that we're going to block that up real well when it's third and obvious. I think we're going to have to run the ball. I think we're going to have to – it's okay if you're on your 30-yard line and it's 3rd and 15 to just run the ball.
Oh, sure.
Because you're not going to block that up.
But, okay, let's say you break contain on that third and long situation.
Yeah, then obviously
who do you want?
Yeah, of course I want Jordan because he's a willing runner. But, if you're just talking about throwing the ball –
Oh, no, I'm not talking about, put targets out there. Let's have these guys drop back and throw the ball. I'm talking about, realistically speaking, when offenses are overmatched against defenses, how do you get down the field? More broken plays than not.
Yeah.
And who's going to be better at the broken play? Probably us because of Jordan's decisiveness.
Yeah, and elusiveness and his ability to actually run away from people, make people miss, all that stuff. You can find DJ. You know where he is. Now, you better bring your lunch pail, but he's not a guy that wants to run, and it's just strange. Now, I will say, you go back and watch, they called the quarterback draw for him last week. It didn't work at all. He got crushed. It collapsed before it could even get started, but they were calling it. That's a designed run. I think they tried to do that earlier. If you go back and look at footage from them earlier in the season, they got him out of the pocket a few times with a run-pass option where he's got one guy. It's a levels concept. He's got a pick of the litter there because they're putting a linebacker in conflict, and he's just got to wait on that linebacker. Well, the linebacker makes a decision, so he's got an open guy, or if he doesn't like it, if they've strung it out, he can take off, and it's a one-on-one with a guy that he weighs 10 pounds more than, and he wouldn't do it. In essence, he just ran the hell out of bounds. And I went, that would drive me nuts. I don't know what is at the root of that. I don't know if he's worried about being labeled as a guy who won't keep his eyes downfield.
Now, you want to be labeled a winner, don't you?
Well, take the yards. But I'm saying all that to say this before we break. I do think that if you're Clemson, you'll probably call it for him to run. Let's see what kind of mood he's in this day, because I think Florida State's going to play it to let him run, like we've talked about. So why wouldn't you just dial it up and say, fine, we think the race is to 21. If I'm Clemson, if I'm Brent Venables, I'm thinking I can hold Florida State under 21 points. I just need my offense to do enough. So maybe we get some short fields at some point, or can I put together a drive using DJ's legs to get me in a position to hit the scoreboard? I would think you could probably do that twice. You could probably dial that up before Florida State starts making an adjustment on him. That's how I would call the game. Let's see if that's what they do. I have a suspicion that's exactly what they're going to do.
Do you expect to see Pumachan? I do.
I do too.
Not necessarily as the starter, but they're going to give him a crack at it.
Well, and I also don't know if it's going to make any difference. He didn't look good when he got his opportunity in this last game. We'll see now.
But if you're going to devise a 1-week plan just to run the hell out of the quarterback, I'd rather have Pumachan out there.
Well, if my man DJ is not going to run, if he's going to refuse to run and tiptoe about. Now, again, design runs with him. If he's going to take off because he knows the play is designed for him to run, there is no choice.
Right. Those are the ones that are getting blown up a bunch from the interior.
Yeah, well, the quarterback draw is.
Yeah.
I would get him outside the tackle.
They haven't figured it out this long.
I don't understand how.
They all going to wake up different people on Saturday?
Well, no, but they know that Florida State's front four is good. They haven't been able to block it up against lesser front fours.
I mean, even if they run to the perimeter, our secondary gets downhill. I know we're missing linebackers, but our secondary will get downhill and hit you now.
Well, they better. I mean, this is a big man. You got to hit him hard. You got to let's go low.
If he's running timid, though.
Yeah. Cross your fingers that remains the case. We'll come back, give you probables, and wrap it up in a moment. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your body is a masterpiece designed to heal itself from within. Learn how to maximize your health by tuning in to Phenomenal Health with me, Dr. Ryan Finn. Saturdays at 2:30. Experience true health today and call Finn Chiropractic at 386-7700.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. Fix your roof, cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Getting your roof inspected can save you thousands of dollars in the event of a major storm. Not to mention the peace of mind knowing that you and your family are protected. At Parker Brothers Roofing, we make it easy with free estimates, affordable financing, and professional installation every time since 1995. Call 656-8112 or visit parkerbrothersroofing.net today.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
A supporter of ours. You just heard the commercial for our friends at ISF, Solving the Future. Today is their day. Redemption Thursday, this hour in particular, they have a feature that we do, Solving the Future, and we didn't do it today. And that's not out of neglect, but we got thrown for a loop with the power surge. We lost internet. We lost the radio signal. And for a good 15 minutes there, we were kind of down and out scrambling, and I didn't want their day to get ruined and interrupted and disjointed. We had people leave and come back to the show later on and all that. So ISF, I got you. You don't have to worry about me. I'll get you hooked up tomorrow. We'll do the right thing, and we'll do our fixed position feature right there and make sure that we take care of our end of the business. But also, it's a fun feature to do. It's just it's a good way to take a closer look at what Florida State's doing to solve for the future, or really anybody for that matter. But that's ISF, and go check them out, ISF.com. Time for probables. Let's fire it up, Tommy, if you will, and I'll do the read momentarily.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Probables brought to you by North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com. We're even, Steven. in that series, unfortunately. Let's look ahead. Astros are going to throw Luis Garcia. Braves tomorrow night, 8:09 p.m., Truist Park. Ian Anderson going to go for the Braves, Mr. Anderson. And that is a look at those that shall result of the bomb. Boom, 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 boom.
Feels like a really important game given that Morton is not in the rotation anymore.
What? It does feel that way, and I was disappointed to see the Astros even it up. Not surprised, though. That Jose Altuve character is a pretty good player. Damn, man.
He could play.
I couldn't believe it. I just saw those numbers after he hit his home run. I mean, he's up there amongst the all-time best in postseason home runs.
With or without a buzzer on his
It's
chest.
insane, yeah. Dude's 2 feet tall, and he's out here just swinging it. Plays in the right ballpark, too, though. But, I mean, credit where credit due. Credit's due. He's just a hell of a baseball player. Need the Braves to bounce back here, and we'll see what happens. Our mutual friend was probably not watching as things got out of control.
I wouldn't think so. But maybe that's the time to watch.
No,
there's low leverage. If they make a rally, then
when it's 6-2,
done
you're
what you
like,
need to
I'm
do."
good. I'm good. See what happens. Yeah. I just hope, as a fan of baseball, fan of the World Series, I know it won't be good on his constitution, but give me 7 games, baby. Give me 7 games. Let's have it come down 1 game, winner take all.
Having the option for TV2 is a nice thing. Just that the baseball is there. The chances are there's not going to be commercials. That's the one difference. Baseball does take forever, but at least it's not for commercials, for injury timeouts, replay reviews, kickoffs, touchdowns, change of possessions, punts, quarters, halftimes, just because baseball is at least going to be on the screen. There's a pitch coming. With the NFL, there's probably about 30 minutes of actual football over the course of 3 hours.
That money line tonight, by the way, Tom, is if you wanted to take the Packers, you could get them at plus 230. I don't know that there's any value anywhere else in this game.
Right, yeah. Plus 230 with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback.
Yeah, that's the value in this game. If you're just seeking value.
Over under 2.5 times they show his Hail Mary in that building.
Under, but yeah, you'll see it for sure. Now, Tom, it would appear to me that the Sharps are in agreement with you. I mean, just a little sneak peek to tomorrow. Today is Redemption Thursday, after all. Colts on the money line, minus money to beat the Titans. Minus money. They're like, we see this. Letdown moment for the Titans coming off of 2 big wins.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Minus money there. I may end up playing the Titans with a little 2-team teaser pleaser. I can't find the 3-gamer that I traditionally love. I can't find a game where it works.
Yeah, something might speak to you overnight.
Could speak to me as I delve in a little further. I just right now there's no obvious candidate other than
One of the good things about the power surge is it would appear that these computers are now on the exact same clock. There was about a 2-second lag that was bothering me for a couple weeks.
Good work out of you, sir. Good work, Matthew. Thanks to all of you who watched and or listened. Be well, everybody, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow on a live